Hey guys, it's Mike, the Wrestling Godsmith, and you guys are watching All in Wrestling. Tonight I'm going to talk about this is my Smackdown review. Like I said, it's going to be a two-part review. But the first thing I'm going to talk about last night with Asuka, Becky Lynch, and that segment. So like I said, they both came out. First came out was Becky. She made a promo saying that she deserves a rematch. I'm thinking that rematch will probably be for her to get a title shot because she does get a rematch clause at any point. I'm thinking it should have been. I think Becky is gonna get a rematch with Asuka. So is Charlotte gonna get a rematch, but I think they're both. I think they're gonna make it a triple threat. I think it's gonna be in the Royal Rumble, but a part of me thinks that Becky's gonna just skip that whole, like the whole thing with Asuka and just go straight to Ronda. Because I think right now Asuka needs a title, and for her to be the dominant one. And I just think right now, like, it was Becky's time. She had the title for a bit. It was Charlotte's time. She had the title. And to me, I kind of feel like that was a waste to put her in a situation with Ronda Rousey because I think they're going to get it right. It's going to be a triple threat where both of them, all three of them are going to fight for both titles because they're going to try to do some type of double title unification at WrestleMania. I think that's what's going to happen. Because the thing is, either two things are going to happen with Brock Lesnar because either Braun Strowman is going to be a champion at that time, or Seth will be, or Finn will be, because they are kind of just like all the parallel. The parallel thing will be with Raw and SmackDown. They're somebody's gonna have a double unification, which means if someone from SmackDown gets the Universal title, they can just bring it to SmackDown, which should work instead of them going to switch brands to defend the Universal title, which really doesn't work because title double, I guess double unification works in so many different ways in WWE, which I just think in that time it's gonna be it's gonna be a weird thing because like I said last night with the glass being half empty and half full because I'm not that guy. I just think with SmackDown that like there's so much main caliber talent that some of them are gonna be like I said how it's gonna be the top guy era. I just to me I don't know. I don't know how to feel about it. I really don't because it's just weird, right? I don't know how to feel about it. I don't know how to feel about it because like I don't know how to feel. My point is my point is I don't know how to feel about it because SmackDown is doing so much better than Raw and the way they're kind of setting up their storylines to Raw's is adjacent, but they're not crappy. And I kind of feel like everybody's getting a shot now because it's like Raw finally wised up and said, you know what? Maybe if we can do what we think we're going to do for the last week, we can we can build it up. See, that's my point. Like that's my point right there. See, they were up here, they were like down here and then they're a little bit up here, but SmackDown's all the way up here. And to me, I'm thinking maybe we can go that route with them. I don't really know because I'm sitting here thinking about it. To me, I don't know. I'm so skeptical because I'm a SmackDown guy, but I'm also a Raw guy. But I'm skeptical because I'm looking at the rivalries. I'm looking at the call ups because we got Mustafa Ali coming to SmackDown, and usually you don't get a cruiserweight going to SmackDown. You don't really get it. Which means that means everybody's coming in. That means all the cruiserweights are going to be going to SmackDown. They're jumping ship. See, and I like how they did it where he came in, but he was fighting Daniel Bryan. Like he came in, had a match with him, and it wasn't like we didn't know what was gonna happen. We just got it, and that's what SmackDown does. We're gonna get people that we don't think we're gonna get, but it's gonna be one of those things like Lars Sullivan is gonna be that guy. He's gonna be that wild card that nobody expected to come. And that's the point. We need a guy like him to be the wild card. Like I said, Raw isn't gonna really get him because the thing is, Raw doesn't know how to really wheel and deal. Because the thing is, they need him. They don't need, like, that's the thing. Raw is just getting around to getting the guys the calls they already have. Meaning, they got the revival. They have Chad Gable. They have him and Bobby Roode, which I would have been happy with Bobby Roode being on SmackDown and not have to be on Raw because Raw is kind of like that iffy part about it where what are we gonna do, how are we gonna do it phase, because it's like where's the chase, how do I cut to it, and that's my point to that. Like I want to get into another thing they were doing, like the whole Daniel Bryan Mustafa Ali segment. Like that's my point. See, nobody thinks that nobody thinks that a Mustafa Ali is the guy, but he's the guy for Daniel because he's something that Daniel Bryan has never touched before. Because even if he's a bad guy, even if he's crappy, even if he's the heel, which I like, but to a point I kind of don't like it because they don't, it doesn't mesh with me, right? And the joke is they want to have that idea where it's right up here, right? There really is no idea for it because the joke is there's no concept. And to me, right, I don't like it. I don't like the feeling. That's my point because I feel as though they're not trying. See, now we have this one guy, right? And see, that's where I kind of look at NXT for the call ups because EC3 can go so many different ways, and I think he could go back to Impact if he really wanted to, but I think I know why he's not going back. And that's my point. But like I said, I don't see the point. I really don't. Because NXT is like that one thing in the whole where what it kind of pisses me off at. Like I said, I don't like it, man. Like I said, I don't like how Raw lives their own talent. I don't like how Raw does it. I like SmackDown because I feel that all of the pieces are finally putting fitting together. And it's not like nobody's getting a title shot. It's just me being skeptical, but it's also me thinking like how how SmackDown used to be before Shane McMahon, but like how Teddy Long, how he would bring the main caliber talent, and it would be that glass ceiling. Now that glass ceiling isn't there, the brass ring isn't there, but everybody's grabbed it already. See, now we got these guys in here, right? And the joke is, we could have got Billy Kidman, we could have got him, and I think he should have stayed. But the joke is, they tried so hard to imitate like art imitates life, but it wasn't about that. It was about guys bringing this main event talent, the caliber that we think they have. like I said, it's just like that's what I feel like. I feel like having a bunch of people, right, that make up your brand, which you're gonna get more call ups because the joke is they need more. See, what they're gonna do, and I don't like how Steven Larson said that, Raw is being half empty, half full. No, Raw is being a shit show. It's being a shit show. It's acting like one. And it's acting like one because they don't know who to put at the title scene. Because look at Daniel Bryan, right? So because he's a heel, this dude's he's gonna get so much Xbox heat and he's gonna get so much heel heat that it's not even gonna be debatable if he's even ready to go. And that's my point. Like, I still feel that to a point he could get something. And that's the joke I could have done. Like, everybody thinks that John Cena could have saved Raw. No, John Cena wasn't gonna save Raw. He wasn't going to save Raw in general because he doesn't give a crap anymore. There's no place for him to be on Raw. There's no place for him. See, and this is the point. Like, if Rock would have stayed for another 10 years, for another decade, he would have pieced out. There's no sense for him to be somewhere that doesn't need him anymore. Because we're past the whole millions and millions. We're past the crowd, the audience. We're past that era. It was cool to have the Great One era because it was Attitude Era based, but that was it. We're done. See, like John Cena is part of the Universe era, which is like the WWE Universe plus the PG era, which wasn't that bad. But to me, the PG era has no sense. There was no sense because that was when Nexus started to come in. Nexus was gonna be this big bad faction. They got rid of Daniel Bryan because he was weak, and that's what I mean. To me, I don't like I said. See me, I don't feel like they're really doing anything to prevent it because the joke is, if they were really trying to do what they prevented, or basically to that point, there is no money in it because just like here's the thing I think about it like, see, because SmackDown and SmackDown and Raw want to be a unified front, but I don't really believe that because Raw doesn't know what to do with their talent, and it's better to just go on SmackDown or go to the brand because it's like, why be on Raw, right? Because that's the thing with Ring of Honor, that there's no point. There's no point for them to be like Ring of Honor is like this. It's like you're in a spot, you have a title shot, and you're in a spot. That's how I felt with Raw. You don't have a title shot. You don't have a spot. You're either a mid card or you're an upper mid card or you're a top guy. And that's what I kind of feel with Dean Ambrose. Like, this dude is really trying to be the biggest heel. And I think he's being a real dick about it. I really think him being an Intercontinental Champion was dumb. He should have been a Universal Champion at that point. Because I really feel like, you know what, dude? You're not really doing it, man. You want to be the big bad Dean Ambrose. But the thing is, what are you really doing? You're not really doing anything. You're not really doing what you say. And the joke is, like, dude, you were a WWE champion. You became WWE champion and Money in the Bank winner. So you basically won Money in the Bank. You became Mr. Money in the Bank, and you cashed in the same night. So you got a WWE title shot. You got one. So you had your moment, and that's what I think with that now because it's like, look at Dolph Ziggler, right? The guy went from being, because I look at it now, the guy went from being a freaking cheerleader in the Ruthless Aggression era to a unified tag team champions because of the Spirit Squad fighting against went to OVW, came back for 3 years because it was 2009 when he came, stayed, and he had 7 years on his belt in 2011. So basically, that dude basically had a great career because he actually became the Spirit Squad in the unit because the unit had more than 5 members, but he was a part of it. He was a unified tag team champion. And the funny thing is, then he came back, right? He came back, got a new hairstyle, changed his look, did everything, went to being the show off that we know still in the show, became Intercontinental Champion. When they were going into the PG era, like when they were going into the universe era, became became Intercontinental Champion. Flash forward, goes back, was in NXT, did the reality, but he wasn't even in the reality show. He was in the part where he got in, and he got in. He came back to WWE because Vince wanted him, and Vicky said, "Okay, I'll take him. I'll put him on SmackDown. I'll make him a star." And that was the thing. He made him a star. He made him a star. She made him a star. He does it. Meets AJ Lee. Then he meets Big E Langston, the guy who we now know is E. Guy who can lift, who's a deadlifter, who's a football guy, who's a runner, who's part of the New Day. Gave him an Intercontinental title shot, made him Intercontinental Champion. Did great. And that was the joke. See, like they didn't know what to do. Made Dolph Ziggler cash in at Money in the Bank. He cashed in. Became World Heavyweight title. Became World Heavyweight Champion. Didn't leave. Like, that's my point. See, SmackDown can make you or break you, and Raw doesn't do that. Raw doesn't give you a sense of you having a title shot. Because the top guy is Brock Lesnar. Because we got a guy who hasn't competed in a ring for 16 years but collects a paycheck, right? And the joke is, they're going to get sick and tired of getting this dude. And that's the point. Who gives a crap if he hates people? Who gives a crap if he puts you through an F5? You fire that dude and you tell him to drop the title. You tell him to drop the title. Because he doesn't deserve to have that title. You come in here, you're not wrestling. You're not doing F5. You're not doing what you said you were going to do. You were 25 years old when you got into WWE. You made yourself. You lost to the guy, Goldberg. You lost to him. You lost to John Cena. And as much as you say you never lose to anybody, you lost to Seth Rollins, dude. You gonna sit here and say you didn't? Dude, you eat pins. Because that's the only reason you stick by. That's the only reason you stay in it. That's the only reason you're here. To collect a paycheck. You say you're a machine. How come you ain't defending that title against Braun? And I'm betting on it. I really hope that Braun beats him in the Royal Rumble. I really and truly do. Because you know what? They have a guy who's a top champion, who has the potential to be one. He should have had the title. I'm sorry. He should have had WWE Gold by now. And you let Brock Lesnar hold this stupid Universal Championship. And that was supposed to do something, but that really didn't do anything. That was like, oh, let's just fuck it and just do it. That's what I thought. That's what I think about it now. Because now, we don't even have that. And I'm sorry, guys, like I said, and I have a question before I go. Like I said, what do you guys think that SmackDown? Who do you think they're going to get? Do you think they're going to call up Johnny Gargano, EC3, Velveteen Dream? Like I said, hit me up on the likes and the comments and subscribe. Peace.